Are you ready to take your organization to the next level and become a game changer in your industry? Then look no further. Welcome to Yeukai Business Show, where we bring you the world's top business thought leaders to share their secrets to success, from leadership development to finance, marketing, self-development, human resource management, and much, much more. Our guests reveal the strategies, tactics, and mindsets that have made them so successful. So let's dive in and learn from the best in the business. Awesome. Welcome back to another very special episode here on Yeukai Business Show. We are so delighted that you would take time to listen to the conversations we are having here. And as always, today is no different. We bring you some of the finest business owners, experts, consultants, and coaches on the show so that they can help you move your business from where it is to where you want to be. In fact, my guest today is going to share with you what is actually working today. Not what used to work 5 years ago, 3 years ago, or even 2 years ago, but what is working today. In fact, that's one of the beauty of these episodes, is because we are constantly looking for amazing people that are making huge headway in the world of business, helping people do what they want to do and doing it in style. And today is no different. My guest is going to share with you exactly the step-by-step process of achieving what you want to achieve today. Now, before I introduce our guest here, can I remind you to make sure you are participating in the community. There is a link below this recording here where you will be able to join if you are not yet part of the community, or if you are part of the community, you'll be redirected so you can join and join the conversation that is going. Remember, these conversations, they may be simple, they may lead to a different end goal. In fact, they could change the whole trajectory of your business or even your life. So I highly, highly encourage you to be part of the community. Let's come back to our guest. Thank you so much for joining us here. We're so delighted. I know how busy your schedule is, but for you to take time out of your schedule and be generous with your knowledge, it truly is an honor of mine. Thanks again for joining us here. Now, to get us started, for those who don't know you, or maybe haven't come across the work that you do, would you tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of your background, your education, and your experience in this area? Primarily, some of the things that you have done for other people, like business owners in our community. And maybe while you're at it, you could talk about whether you have been an overnight success. I say that with a tongue in cheek because I know there isn't anything of overnight success. If you haven't, what sort of things you've had to do to become an expert in this area.
Am I an overnight success or did I have to work for it? I don't really think anybody is an overnight success. Our experiences as children growing up, our various circumstances, our married years or our single years or our career or our entrepreneurial years, they all build on one another. And so an overnight success, I don't think is a thing. I think it's a culmination of your life experiences and your unique view, your lived experience, and how you view the world. And that's what happens. We all have to work for it. And I don't consider myself really even a success in the fact that I am rolling in the dough or that I have millions of dollars. But you know what? I have freedom of schedule. I am doing exactly what I want to do, and I'm helping people realize their dream of becoming an author, and I'm helping women heal and recover and have healing and wholeness from relationship deception. So if that's how I define success, which it is, then yes, I am. If you define success as I have millions of dollars and I'm traveling the world and I have a Maserati, then no, I am not. It all depends how you define success, but I believe everybody has to work for it. It's just a fact of life.
That's brilliant, and thanks for covering that. Now we want to dive deep into talking about the very first step that business owners, those that may be starting from scratch, or those who are looking to reinvent themselves, ought to take to ensure success. And maybe we could talk about the best way for them to take these steps, and if there are any tools or apps they can use to make this very first step easier moving forward. And if we have got enough time, maybe we could just cover a little bit about what they can do to get unstuck in the event that they got stuck on this very first step.
I think the first step, the very first step for business owners is to make a plan. And the Bible says, without a vision, the people perish. And I say, without a plan, business owners perish. Because if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to know? How are you going to mark milestones? So create a plan, and please hear this. That plan does not have to be a intricate, detailed, meticulously laid out business plan with all of the fancy frillies and the dots and the financial stuff. It can just be a simple, this is what I want to accomplish this month, this week, and today, and maybe even this hour. And it's important for that to be the first step, because you have to know where you're going. And to know where you're going, you have to know where you're starting. The best way to take this step is to one of two things. You can create an outline, or you can use one of the many free mind map tools. All depends how your mind works and how your brain works. Or you can just take a piece of paper and sketch out a rough picture. If you're an outline person, hey, there's plenty of online outline, programs that you can use. And pretty much everybody knows how to create a basic outline. But there is a website called MindMup, MindMup. P as in Paul.com, MindMup. And that is a mind map tool, free mind map tool that you can use. And it's more of a free flowing type of tool where you put your main idea in a bubble in the middle, and then you can just go out in all kinds of different directions. And sometimes people that are a little more free flowing with their thoughts can do that and just create, just brain dump and just get all your ideas out like that. Another way is to just use an app on your phone that's a recording app. And everybody has this on their cell phones, and just make sure it can be, converted to an MP3 or 4, and just start recording your ideas. And just, again, let them free flow, get it out of your brain. That's the most important thing. And sometimes you can get together with a friend. I do this once in a while. And a friend of mine that's in another state, long-term friend, more than 20 years. And he and I get on the phone and we just kind of strategize about where we want to go in our respective businesses, and just talking it out with somebody else. But they have to know you, because you can't do this with somebody who is going to judge you and criticize every wacky idea that you have. It has to be somebody who really knows you well, and that you know well, and that you can just brain dump and strategize and tell all your wacky, crazy ideas, and it's not going to be judged or criticized. That's really, really important. So that's the best tools I can give you. The mindmup.com, an app, a recording app on your phone. You can make a few notes. What I tell people as far as writing a book is, if somebody has a story to tell, and everybody has a story to tell, get on your phone and map out a loose table of contents. And this is very specific to books, but you can use this for anything. Take a few ideas create a loose table of contents. What do you want to talk about? Get on that recording. And again, make sure it can be converted into an MP4 or MP3, and just go point by point and just get your stories out there, get your ideas out there. And that's how it happens. All of a sudden, you get that all recorded, and then to get a loose, and this is a loose transcript. It's a transcript. It's not a manuscript. Very, very important to note the distinction between the two. But you can use a transcription site, and the best one I like and the most economical is Scribie. Scribie, not Scribe, because that's for the medical profession, but Scribie.com. And they are fast, they're accurate, they're inexpensive. It is wonderful. I use them all the time. And that's the best way to get all your thoughts, all your recordings and everything onto a Word document, or I guess it would be Pages for an iPhone or an Apple user. And as far as how long this step takes, it depends on you. How motivated are you? Do you want to get something done in a short amount of time? You've got to push some things aside. As they say no to the good so you can say yes to the great. So as long as it takes, if you want to get something done in, say, a month, make yourself goals, make yourself daily writing, time limits to where, okay, I am going to write just for 15 minutes. I'm going to write for 30 minutes. I'm going to write for an hour. Doesn't matter how that writing looks. Oh, I'm not a natural writer. So it doesn't matter. Just get your thoughts out. That's what editors and proofreaders are for, too, to make sense of your writing. If someone gets stuck on this step, someone has asked, how can they get unstuck? The best thing I have found when I get stuck on something is to walk away, step away, go eat a piece of chocolate. Okay, go watch an episode of a favorite show. Go on a walk, get outside, step away from that thing. Because your mind, even though you're not working on it directly, your mind will continue, your subconscious, I guess it's called, will continue to work on it. And so if you get stuck, go do something else and then come back and see what happens. Because the magic happens actually when you're not working on it. And I think that's the best. That's the best thing as far as books go and writing a story, whether it's for a book, whether it's for an article. If you get stuck and look at that blank screen or that blank piece of paper and say, oh my gosh, I just set my eyeballs on fire, then what you need to do is just don't force it, step away from it, come back to it, because the ideas will be flowing as you step away from it. And doesn't chocolate just taste so good? So anyway, that's kind of a goofy example, but to get unstuck is to just walk away, let your brain do its work, do its natural work, and then come back.
That's awesome. Thanks. I love how you've simplified things there, and I can see how pretty much anybody can apply that step. Now, with that same mindset, let's dive deep and talk about the next step, or the second step that they ought to take, and how perhaps we could look at how they can implement this step right now, not later on, but right now in their lives today.
If the first step is make a plan, the second step is work the plan. Work the plan. The best way for you to work the plan is to take one action, a minimum of one action every single day. And the times in my business where I just wanted to give up, it didn't seem like anything was happening. I was struggling financially. I was just wondering if everybody in the whole world forgot my name. What helped me along the way, and what's helped me, and I've been in business for, I believe it's been 15 years. the best way for me to work my plan was to just do one thing that day. Just do one thing forward. Make one call. Reach out to one person on social media. Connect with one person. And of course, I'm saying one, but it ends up being making 5 calls, making 5 connections or more, reaching out, posting. That's an important thing as part of working the plan, is to just post regularly and learn about which posts work the best for LinkedIn. It's not Twitter anymore, X, Instagram, Facebook. They all work in a little different way as far as the audiences and as far as the post. So educate yourself on that as well. But as far as working the plan, just do one thing every day that moves your business forward. Step by step, that's the secret. And as far as tools, websites, and apps, you know what? I will honestly and authentically say, no, this is elbow grease. Maybe other people have tools or websites or apps they can recommend. But for me, it is getting in there and doing the work. It's you. You're the secret. You're the secret sauce that makes your business successful. And as far as how long this step takes, again, it depends on you. It depends on how bad you want it. How hungry are you? That's the thing. And that's how, and even if you are hungry and I'm not saying literally hungry, I'm saying if you're hungry to make your business a success, sometimes you go through, it's like, I want this to happen in the next 3 months. Well, it takes time for people to recognize your brand. It takes time for people to recognize that you're real, that you're not going to disappear. And so the length of time, I don't think you really can put a length of time on it, because it's how aggressive you are in wanting it. And again, there's a lot of gurus out there that say you have to work 15 hours a day, and I only sleep for 4 hours a night, and I grind. I've never subscribed to that, because I think that I would like to see those people's family lives and personal lives and health. If you do that for an extended period of time, I don't think it's sustainable, but that's me. That's personal opinion. If you get stuck on working your plan step, to get unstuck is the same secret. To get unstuck in working your plan is to do one thing. This is not the step away part. This is the get in there, guessing you have a daily calendar sitting on your desk or sitting on your desktop, and just put one thing in there and do one thing that day that moves you forward. Maybe it's going on Canva and creating a post. It doesn't, and not everything, here's a little bonus tip. Not everything has to be sales, and it shouldn't. You should not be selling all the time. You should be caring about people. You should be sharing other aspects of your life. It's not business all the time. There's an old saying as well that says, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. and I believe that. You have to show people that you have a life and what you're interested in. You might think, what do they care? But people want to know that you're a real person. They want to know what you're interested in. So if you get stuck, I would say the best way to get unstuck is just be authentic, be genuine, and just share of yourself, share your life. And you don't have to get in the weeds. You don't have to just share every single thing, because there is oversharing, of course, but just do one thing that shows people that you're not going away. You're in it for the long haul.
Wow, this is incredible. I love how you're simplifying these secrets, these systems, and these steps for everybody to apply today. Now, before we jump on to talk about the third steps, I want to talk to Bill in our audience today and anybody listening for that matter. Remember what we always talk about on this show: never to leave a place of discovery without scheduling when you're going to apply what you're learning today. The reason for that is if we don't schedule it, we will not do it. So I'm hoping that you are scheduling mentally if you're out on the run, or maybe you're driving your car, or whatever you may be doing. Just make a mental note. When are you going to apply one of the steps that you have learned today? And because it is so small or very simple, that doesn't mean it's not going to bring tremendous results. Remember, it is the small hinges on a door that swings massive doors. So it will be just one of these amazing steps we are learning today that could open incredible opportunities for you. Well, let's go back and talk about that very third step. And maybe we could talk about it from a place where, somebody has tried it and they have failed and they're feeling like they cannot do it anymore, or they cannot start again anymore, and they're stuck. How can they get started again?
The third step that people can take, business owners can take, is, and I'm talking really specifically here about writing a book, since that's my area of expertise. So I'm going to get in the weeds a little bit here and just say the third step is to not be afraid of editing your plan. Okay, you've created your plan, you've worked your plan, and it's okay to edit your plan. And what I mean by that is that, as I've stated, I started out thinking I was going to be an editor. My company name was going to be Typo I, because I could spot a typo a mile away. And no, that I found out really quick. Oh my gosh, hovering over my desk for hours a day, correcting was not it. I knew that was going to suck the life out of me. Copywriting, I think that over time I outgrew that as well. And then when the former NFL player came to me about a book, I tipped into ghostwriting for about 6 years. And after about 6 years, it started to suck the life out of me. And it was long form. But what I realized was that, I was on a business seminar or a networking meeting, and the speaker was talking about, if you've fallen out of love with your business, do you need to throw the whole thing out? Probably not. You probably just need to adjust it 15 degrees to the left or to the right, and you'll fall back in love with your business. And that resonated with me so much. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, ghostwriting and spending hours and hours and hours and hours. I mean, it takes 200 plus to 300 hours to really ghostwrite a book well. And that's someone else's story. And so I thought, what were the things that I really enjoyed about the process? And what I found out was that I enjoyed the putting the pieces together, connecting my clients with my cover designer, with the proofreader, with the publisher or self-publishing platform or whatever, however they were publishing, and just the moving and shaking of all the pieces of the project, like project managing. That was my sweet spot. And so I thought, you know what? I morphed from a ghostwriter to a book and publishing consultant. Oh, I felt like a weight was off my shoulders, like a ton of bricks just had been lifted. And why I'm telling you that is because if your business, hey, say you've been doing the same thing for 5 years, 10 years or more, and you're like, did I create this business to be this miserable or feel this weighted down? Because that's how I felt. And everything, once I shifted and made that shift, and I didn't say I'm stopping this and I'm starting this on my social media channels. I said, hey, I'm adding this. And so you don't have to tell people, oh, I'm stop. Oh, okay, I'm going in another direction. Okay, I'm going here. Just say you're adding or you're enhancing your business with this new service. And so it's not like, oh, what's she doing now? Wait, I thought she was doing this. No, now she's doing that. So it makes it a little more palatable for people to see. Everybody transitions in their business. So the third step is be open to editing your business model, your business structure. Be willing to transition to something different if it's not working for you anymore. Don't be afraid of that. Okay? Any tools, websites, or apps to make that easier? Again, it's your own personal mindset that is the secret. So I would say websites, it's just a matter of some Google searching, maybe to just look at business transition and some tips and things like that. I would say, trying to think of, psychologytoday.com has some good articles. Entrepreneur magazine has some really good articles. But honestly, I didn't use any of that. I just knew that I needed a change, but I'm not opposed to, hey, go out there, get some tips, but don't listen and do every single thing that you see out there that you read, because they'll take you in a million different rabbit holes and you'll waste time. It takes the length of time this step takes. Again, there's no tried and true paint by number method. It depends on how you want to take that new direction. How do you want it to look? And that's an important question, is that it has to be, how do you want it to look? How do you want your business to look? Do you want the freedom of time to be able to go do errands during the day and work 4 days a week? Do you want, like the Tim Ferriss book, 4-Hour Work Week? How do you want your business to look? You get to choose that, not anybody else. You get to. How do you get unstuck if you're making a transition? Sometimes to get unstuck, if you find, okay, I'm editing my business. I am transitioning into a different phase of it, or maybe just something totally different, then sometimes, again, walking away from it. And I think the best thing to walking away, and what I mean, walking away temporarily, just doing something else, get involved in a hobby or something, like step away from it for a minute and then come back, and often you're refreshed. But what I think is a huge tool for this one, to get unstuck, is to talk to somebody, again, that gets you. Talk to somebody who knows your heart and knows your areas, your skills, your areas of expertise, and talk to them and ask pointed questions. And don't be afraid to get pointed answers, because somebody that knows you is going to come from a place of love and not judgment. So I think that's the best step for this third step to get unstuck, is to go to your close inner circle and just ask.
Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Thank you again for that. This is incredible. Let's talk about the tools, because in my own experience, I've discovered that there are amazing tools out there that simplify the whole process. In your experience, based on what you know and helping many, many people in this area, are there specific tools that you recommend that business owners can apply today? And if their website, maybe you could mention those ones so that people can go there straight away and find this content to help them become what they want to be and reach those goals here today.
There are so many tools for writing a book. And you can use this for writing probably reports or papers or anything, but specifically for books, I am going to rattle off several tools that can start you on your journey. The first one are title generators. And it's, of course, they all start with HTTPS and all that. Portent.com, portent.com/tools/title-maker. Again, Portent, portent.com/tools/title-maker. That's one to generate titles for your articles or books. Another one is a dazing, D as in David, ADAZING.com/book-title-generator. And that should take you to another title generator, website. I think the best thing is to give you some tools also for inspiration, for the emotional marketing headline, stuff like that. So there is one wonderful website, and it's for emotional marketing headline analyzer. Okay. It is aminstitute.com/headline. aminstitute.com/headline. And this tool lets you measure how emotional your headlines are. You can decide which emotion you want to activate in your customers by testing various versions of your headline. Very helpful. Another one for the same thing for your title and for your headline are a CoSchedule, which is CoSchedule, C-O, and then the word schedule.com. And that it's super simple, it's easy to use, and it offers great insights to improve your headline writing skills. And that's a headline, that's more for articles, things like that. For your book structure, you can copy your content into HemingwayApp.com. It's Hemingway, HemingwayApp.com. And it'll tell you if your text is too dense, too complex, or just plain unreadable. And it's a great way to reduce your editing time. Of course, you can use Google AdWords, Keyword Planner. They understand keywords. Nobody understands keywords like Google, I don't believe. And that's adwords.google.com/keyword planner. AdWords with an S .google.com/keyword planner. There's another one. There is a HubSpot blog topic generator as well. And this is just to generate blog topics if you're a blogger, which I am. And it's HubSpot, HUBSPOT.com/blog-topic-generator. And there's a little extra bonus tool for you, and it's a cliche finder. Okay. So if you're writing all day, every day, it's natural that sometimes you might fall into a cliche rut. So you can use this tool to uncover which phrases have lost their impact. And it's cliche.theinfo.org. And that's cliche, CLICHE.theinfo.org. Okay, so there's some great tools to get you started, and I wish you the best success. Oh, you're on such a journey now. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. I'm certainly going to check out one of those tools myself. If not, my team will be checking that out, because I think tools simplify life for busy people like you and I, and I'm sure Bill in our audience will be doing the same thing. Now, moving on, I've discovered personally in my own journey as an entrepreneur that mindset plays a huge part in any area that you go into. In your opinion, having helped hundreds of people, again, what sort of mindset that, to a certain degree, virtually guarantees success in applying these very steps we've been talking about?
For me, the perfect mindset is, of course, to have a growth mindset and not scarcity mindset. And I can say that because for so long, I have had a scarcity mindset. When I get a client deposit or a balance, I think, oh my gosh, no other money is ever going to come to me ever again. This is it. I have to live on this the rest of my life. Don't do that. Okay, that is not the way to live. So the perfect mindset is to have a growth mindset. And I will also add to that to have a greatness mindset. And Lewis Howe's book, The Greatness Mindset, is really an incredible book for this. And it's really, in paraphrasing my own interpretation, is that you have to believe in your greatness, in your greatness. And you might be saying, there's nothing special about me. Everybody does, like a million people do the same thing as I do and all that. They might, but they're doing it according to who they are. There might be some basic knowledge that's, the same, but nobody can work your business like you do. Nobody has your lived experience. Nobody has your uniqueness. And so you have to embrace a greatness mindset and really believe with all your heart that what you offer and how you offer it is the greatest thing on the planet. And of course, I am not talking about cocky, arrogant, obnoxious type of confidence like that. I'm talking about believing in the greatness that you have within you. And a lot of times that comes with humbleness as well, a lot of humbleness, because you realize that it's something greater outside of yourself that is really fueling you to do what you're doing. So just have a growth mindset and a greatness mindset. And I think that's all I can say about that, because that's been a work in progress for me. And I continue to embrace that, yeah, there's other people, especially when it comes to the Heart Swindler book, Reclaim Your Heart and Stop Falling for Liars, Losers, and Lunatics. There's so many women out there that are much more educated than I am with narcissistic abusers and with romance scammers, and they know all the facts and they know all the ins and outs educationally, and they can talk about it beautifully. I just had somebody on my podcast that was just an authority on it, but they can't present to clients in the way I can. They can't. They're effective, absolutely, and they are brilliant in their own right. And we, as business owners, need to be brilliant in our own right. And our brilliance comes from who we are and our life experience. So walk in your worth, business owners. That is the greatest thing I can tell you. Walk in your worth.
Awesome. Thanks for that. And now, as we come toward the end of our time together here, and I know we have covered a great deal of information and strategies and steps that anybody can apply today, especially Bill in the audience here today. Is there anything that I haven't asked you about how to get started and how to do this very well that you would love to share with everybody before we wrap up?
I think the thing that I want to leave business owners with is just to be always like the selling world, always be selling, always be closing. I think the secret is to always be the best version of yourself that you can be. Always be willing to learn more. Yes, you can just present your business in your own unique way, and that's what I talked about in the last segment, but just don't settle for that. Always educate yourself further. Be the foremost authority in your line of work. And that's where really a book can really help elevate your brand like that. And they say, the new business card is a book. And I don't know if I embrace that fully, but a book will help you establish yourself, especially if you're a speaker. A book to sell back of room is going to really be effective, but always be educating yourself as far as your area of business, your area of your industry. Always be improving yourself through personal development and being the best version of yourself that you can be, and always surround yourself with like-minded people. There's nothing worse than to be around negative Nellies all the time, or critical Chris's or whatever. I'm sorry if your name is Nellie or Chris, but you know what my point is that can really weigh you down and make you second guess yourself. Don't spend time around negative, critical people. And of course, none of us really do that on purpose, but sometimes we find ourselves in this vortex of, oh my gosh, what's happening here? So you have to be intentional about surrounding yourself with positive, supportive, affirming people. Now, that's not going to look like, hello, I'm at your door and I'm a positive, supportive, affirming person and I wanted to pour myself into you. No, it doesn't happen like that. You have to go out and be intentional and be purposeful about finding those people. Sometimes it's in Toastmasters. Sometimes it's in networking groups. Sometimes it's in some social clubs or, even like meetup.com or eventbrite.com where you can just go be with people who have like-minded hobbies like cooking or cycling or whatever, movies. So that's really, really important to surround yourself. And I say always, because you always have to be educating yourself. You always have to be the best version of yourself that you can be. And you have to always intentionally seek out positive, supportive, affirming people. And I think that is it. I am so thankful for being a guest on this podcast. I'm really just pumped up because I just think that I've been through the trenches of business, the ups and the downs and the all arounds. And if something I've said can help somebody, then my purpose is fulfilled. Man, I'm really excited about that.
Absolutely outstanding. Thank you so much for such a great interview and for your generosity in sharing what is working in your life today and what is working in other people's lives today with my audience here today. And would you share with everybody how they can connect with you? Maybe it's your website or even your social media, because I know there will be people in the community here that would love to learn further and can carry on from what we have started talking about here today. So please give everybody the best way to connect with you today.
Well, I have two websites actually, and I would like to direct you to both of them. My book and publishing consultant website is winningproof.com, winningproof, winningproof.com. And my Heart Swindler website is just that, heartswindler.com, HERTSWINDLER. I have blogs on both that you can glean some wisdom nuggets and find out more about how my brain works in communicating. And I think that is it. And the Heart Swindler, of course, there's a whole bunch of different tools on that one to help women. And I know men go through this too. Men are targets of romance scammers just as much as women. And I think that's maybe a sequel to the Heart Swindler book. But I just want to point out that you can go to either if you're interested in a book, winningproof.com. If you're interested in healing and everything related to romance scams and narcissistic abuse, heartswindler.com.
This has been outstanding, and I cannot thank you enough for your generosity and how you've been so selfless in helping people with the right steps they need to take today. Would you share with those listening here that are not yet participating in the community, Yeukai business community, how you're going to be helping them in there? I know there will be people with questions that will be looking for real answers and solutions, maybe services or products from you. And by the way, before you do that, I want to remind everybody that at the bottom of this recording, there will be a link that you can click on it and you'll be taken directly into our community where there is a lot of activities going on there. Many different guests that we've had are already participating in there. They're helping people with the questions and answers that they may have right now. So over to you. How will you be helping the community today, months, or even years to come? Thanks again. I truly appreciate you and what you're about. Thank you for tuning in to Yeukai Business Show. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode and have gained valuable insight and inspiration from our amazing guest. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review to help us spread the word. Also, be sure to check out our Leadership Ultimate Success Mastermind program, which is designed to help you and leaders in our community to do great things and support each other along their leadership journey. Until next time, live well, live with passion, know that the best is truly yet to come.